Emotional affairs rarely start with romance. They really start with some sort of connection. So often I hear the question, is this an emotional affair? And how do I identify it and what do I do?
Yeah, because I mean, the reality is we all have opposite sex friendships, relationships. What makes that healthy,
hmm
okay, versus when does it really cross the line?
hmm Well, by definition, an emotional affair is when emotional energy, intimacy, or connection that actually belongs in your marriage is given to someone outside of it. And that's key because if I'm giving someone else of the opposite sex connection, intimacy that you deserve to be getting as my husband, that's crossing a line.
Yeah, that's definitely where the line would be crossed. I mean, you think about that emotional connection. I think it can be around sharing personal information.
hmm
So I'm now telling you about, the good, the bad, and the ugly within my life. The
hmm
good, man, this happened. This was so amazing. I was so excited. I got this promotion or I
hmm
did this thing really well. I'm talking about, man, the other day, this happened and it,
hmm
it it was really tough and I'm not sure what to do. Do you have any advice? Or even, talking about, man, I've just been so frustrated, in my marriage
Right.
and this is what's going on and I don't know what to do. I just wanted to get your perspective on it. It's just recognizing that there's sharing information, sharing our lives, and then they're crossing the line is when we're
hmm
really getting into a lot of those details, going deep
hmm
with that information.
Personal details,
Right,
details about our marriage.
right.
And that is not appropriate with the opposite sex, especially when you add in the component of hiding or secrecy.
Yeah.
Because when we enter into that, then we're using a lot of energy to cover it up. Maybe we're deleting texts, not talking about the conversations we're having at work with this opposite sex colleague. Maybe we start noticing that we're looking forward to seeing this person, maybe even more than our spouse.
Yeah. I had a colleague one time, male colleague, come to me and just say, "Hey, would you pray for me?" He goes, "What I'm noticing is that I'm walking out of the way to go by this person's desk cubicle
hmm
throughout the day." And that for him was an alarm
hmm
going, I'm walking on my way. I'm noticing that I want to be around this person. I want to be, see this
hmm
person.
You're looking forward to
Yeah.
it. You're anticipating
Yeah.
seeing this person. I can't say enough how wise your colleague was
Yeah.
to come to you and ask you for prayer to confess it.
Yeah.
Because when it's in the darkness, that's when the enemy has a heyday and continues to lead us that direction towards this other person versus confessing it, bringing it into the light allows Jesus's light to shine on that. Then you were invited into his private world.
Yeah. So for you, like what's that real clear line between, yeah, we're relating throughout the day to the opposite sex
Mhm,
when it becomes an issue, right? When it kind of crosses that line is when you're sharing a whole lot more information or even going to this person with some news first and
mhm,
foremost when that really should be something you should be sharing with your spouse. I mean,
mhm,
is that for you? Is that kind of the line?
mhm, mhm.
Like, man,
And
I'm
then
dumping all this information, I'm going deep, they know a lot about
mhm,
me. I'm sharing all these emotions and even looking for comfort,
mhm,
looking for support. I
mhm,
notice that this person often, validates me, compliments me. I mean,
mhm,
all that kind of stuff is that's probably where the line is because now I'm focusing a lot of that energy, that
mhm,
intensity on this relationship, and then at the same time, sort of denying in
mhm.
my own mind or even literally within my marriage that this is even happening. So it's secret.
Right.
It's all underground in that
Mhm.
sense.
And I think the secrecy is so concerning because that can continue to build. And oftentimes, a full blown affair starts with that emotional connection. They don't realize that that emotional connection can create a risk to both their emotional integrity as well the marriage.
Yeah. So where does someone start?
Hmm.
Okay, so let's say they're noticing, oh yeah, I am walking by this person's desk.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to those conversations. I'm sharing a lot of information, and I'm finding a lot of comfort
Hmm.
in this relationship. What do you do? How do you break that?
Hmm. I would say start setting boundaries immediately. When you're identifying, I'm looking forward to seeing this person and I'm going to take that pathway to the bathroom at work, set boundaries around that. I'm no longer allowing myself to walk that direction. I'm going to walk the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I would also say confess that, bring it into the light either to a trusted friend,
Colleague, like
colleague.
my friend did. Yeah.
Yes. And I would also say go to your spouse and confess this to
Mm,
them, that I am
yeah.
struggling, I'm being tempted, or I'm noticing this connection and I'm just letting you know, which is a very hard conversation to have.
Yeah. Because even hearing you say that, I'm thinking, oh man, that you're right. I mean,
Hmm.
you got to break the secrecy,
Hmm.
and so bringing that to your spouse, you're right. That's so important.
Hmm.
How does someone do that?
Hmm.
Like, how might that conversation need to flow
Hmm.
so that it goes well? I mean,
Hmm.
obviously, I can't control the outcome. I need
Right.
to share that information either
Yeah.
way.
I would say just letting your spouse know that there's something you need to share that might be painful, but you're wanting to let them know to improve your marriage, your connection, because you don't want this to continue.
Yeah. So let's say that I come to you
Mhm.
and hey, I've got something I think is important for us to talk about.
Mhm.
Here's what I'm becoming more aware that I've been drawn towards this person,
Mhm.
and I don't want that. I wanna let you know that.
Mhm.
How then should a spouse respond?
Well, it might trigger some stuff inside.
Oh, yeah.
And
Just maybe a little bit.
so when your spouse confesses something like that or shares something like that, it doesn't give you free reign to unleash. So I would say you might need to take a break, call a timeout and step away and check in with you, simmer it down, get more regulated so you can come back and first and foremost thank your spouse for telling you.
Mm.
And that's hard because it's going to trigger stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is something that is hurt you and harming your
Yes.
marriage, so,
Yes.
yeah, no wonder it's gonna be triggering,
But I
sure.
would much rather know than not know.
Yeah.
And this is preventative and preventative to protect our marriage, to protect your integrity, to protect me. So it's important to recognize when our spouse does share something that is difficult, that takes a lot of courage, that we want to respond in a way that is going to encourage that kind of communication.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about our marriage. I mean, I don't think there's been a time that I've come to you to say, "Hey, I'm feeling really drawn to this
Hmm.
person." Now as I'm thinking about it, I watched a video online. I see some warning signs, like I wanna confess this.
Hmm.
I feel like more for us, it's come from because you maybe have just sensed something in a
Hmm.
relationship, maybe that I've had with a colleague, or
Hmm.
maybe it's someone from church or in a small group,
Hmm.
something that
Hmm.
you've noticed that you've done this before. I
Hmm.
mean, this has happened multiple times where
Hmm.
you said, "Hey, I'm not blaming, I'm not even suggesting, I'm just sharing. Here's my gut.
Hmm.
Here's what I'm noticing. I'm not
Hmm.
saying you're doing anything wrong." But so that's another way. I mean,
Hmm.
I may not confess something or
Hmm.
be aware that I need to bring something to the light. It might be our spouse
Hmm.
that maybe is hearing about this person's name coming up or seeing multiple text messages, or
Or
I seem to be guarding my phone.
mhm,
Hey, let me look at something. Put so
mhm,
however that goes,
mhm,
right? Sometimes it's actually you, the
mhm.
spouse,
Yes,
bringing this up.
and it takes courage to bring that up, to say, "Hey, I'm noticing this." Again, it's how you do that, and it's not an opportunity to bash, to criticize, to blame. It's an opportunity to say, "I'm noticing this behavior, and it's stirring something up inside of me.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable." And there's been times that I've done that with you and you're clueless, like you have no idea.
Well, the times it's happened, I know that where I have to regulate my own stuff
Mhm,
is in my mind. I have to say, okay, she's not blaming, she's
mhm,
not saying anything's going on.
mhm,
Relax. I'm literally thinking this.
mhm,
Just listen.
mhm,
And because my first instinct is to defend, to go, "What- that's ridiculous. What are you
mhm,
talking about? I'm not doing that at all. Or
mhm,
I'm not attracted to that person at all."
mhm,
Versus really going, I want to accept your influence,
mhm,
and with the attitude and belief in my mind that there is not a single relationship on this earth. So my relationship with God is top priority. You're number two.
mhm,
And there isn't another relationship that I would ever choose, pick, defend,
mhm,
try to explain why this relationship is okay, even if I'm like, well, Erin's just, she's the jealous type. She struggles. That's her own issues.
mhm,
Like, this is your stuff. Like, I don't, maybe that's true, but I would never approach it with you in that way. I
mhm,
would want to accept your influence.
mhm,
And at the end of the day, go, you know what? Yeah, I, you matter the most to me. And so, what would boundaries need to look like then
mhm,
within this relationship? What would help you?
mhm,
Because if it's a colleague, I mean, if I have a direct report, I mean,
mhm,
I'm not going to fire this person.
mhm,
And so, talking though with you around boundaries and what does that need to look
mhm,
like, then would be the place I'd want to go.
mhm.
But again, I'm just saying the temptation is to reject the influence
Right.
and put this on you. This is your stuff. And again, maybe you are dealing
Mhm,
with your own stuff around
mhm,
this,
mhm,
okay? But I still want to do everything to fight for our marriage,
mhm,
which means listening, taking that in, because there have been times that I didn't notice something and that you did.
mhm,
And so being open to really receiving that, I think, is such an important part.
mhm.
But I think that requires both people to kind of manage their emotions
Yes.
around this
And their
conversation.
triggers and their
Yeah.
fears, all of
'Cause
it.
it's gonna stir, it's gonna trip all that, I get
Mhm,
it. But at the end of the day, then I wanna be able to listen to you and vice versa, and then we'll decide something that feels good to both of us.
mhm,
I mean, that's what I appreciate about our marriage. I know that we'll get there. We'll figure
mhm,
out something that helps you to feel safe and protected within maybe a relationship that I have to have at
mhm,
work. And so we can talk through what would that look like, for me to set some boundaries around
mhm.
that.
And so, really, we want to encourage you to become self aware around opposite sex friendships or relationships, colleagues. And I would encourage you to ask yourself these questions. Would I be ashamed if my spouse saw these text messages? Have I shared frustrations about my marriage with this person? Am I emotionally leaning on them more than my spouse? And do I hide the depth of this relationship? And those are all red flags. And we want to encourage you, if you answer yes to any of those, to confess, bring it into the light, and then begin to set boundaries and guardrails around your relationship to protect your marriage. Emotional affairs are sneaky, they're gradual, and they can put you at risk and your marriage at risk. So we want to encourage you, start setting boundaries today.
Yeah, and you can call us 800, the letter A, in family. So 800 A family, and talk to one of our counselors for free.
Mhm,
You can get a consultation. You'll give your information. They'll call you back. And maybe this is the place where you confess and just say, here's what's going on. I heard some red flags. I answered yes to several of those.
mhm,
I want to take this out of darkness into the light, and then our counselors can help you think through some next steps. We've got a fantastic referral network, so we can help you. So that can be a great first step. We've got our Hope Restored Marriage Intensive program. So as this comes out, maybe you guys need to go to Hope Restored and work through some things that have been
mhm.
going on in your relationship. But either way, we want to walk with you. So be courageous, as Erin talked about, and take that first step. Be honest with yourself, and then let's bring that into the light.
Mhm.
We'd love to walk with you in that.